Bitcoin price is near 61,500. Ether has broken higher. Now, if you go look at XRP, you have to look at different patterns, different stuff. Now, in this video, we are going to go through a lot of different perspectives, which is going to give you that idea. Okay, we broke out. If we are not coming back into the pattern like this, a fake out, we are going to continue higher. This is a daily chart which shows the MACD has crossed to the upside. Now, if you go look at a 3-day chart, again the MACD is near across to the upside, and that's happening in the positive region. And these are there when the RSI is breaking to the upside. Now, whether you say whether the price is going to be coming back because this is a fake out, you need to definitely look at some stuff in the price. So as you go back to see what's happening there in the price action, you do have to consider what's happening with Bitcoin. You do have to understand Ether and the entire alt market, because that's giving you a ton of opportunities. Because now you just go look at, say, this is the altcoin market cap, and you know that okay, it's breaking out, we are still at the upside, we came back, retested, but now we are bouncing to the upside. That's what actually matters. Now let's just jump on to the XRP USD chart. Now this is a 3-day chart where you actually get the idea. Okay, fine, this literally is happening. Now, if you see what happened previously, you will understand that okay, there is a possibility that you are actually moving in this direction. So you kind of get this idea that yes, we have fluctuation. We do agree that we have made a wick even in the last pattern cycle here, and then you came back, retested it, and it failed. You went back down to the moving average. Now here again you had that long wick, the price went above, you know, it was a fake out, it came back in, and you moved to the downside to the moving average, and you're bouncing back. So when you were bouncing back, what is that stuff which is in common? You had a breakout, but that breakout was not that big. If you are zooming into this to focus on what is happening, you see this pattern. Fine, now you come here, you have that wick, you just broke out, and this is a daily chart. So let's see how it rolls on with a daily or 3-day. But on a daily, if you are comparing with what happened last time, it's like okay, you're gonna have a retest, a fluctuation there, and the stuff which is common here is now the daily close is not yet here, but we are close to that. Say in Korea it's 7 a.m. in the morning, so that should be coming soon. So look at the wick there. That's kind of a hammer from the top. Now we come to the current price action, and you see it's the same here. So when you have the same pattern, when you have the same price action, chances are high that you're going to get same price fluctuation, at least the same trend. So if that is the trend, you are going to break higher and move towards this movement. Okay, great. Now last time you actually moved from 0.5 towards $2. Now let's see how this particular wave cycle is gonna play out. But understand this, the market is at a place where money is coming into the market, and you see a lot of different coins are getting pumped, right? So you go look at last 24 hours and you see like okay, Altcoin is doing great. You see a lot of different coins which are doing exceptionally good. They are running, they're fine, you know, small coins, big coins, and all of them are doing great. And that's why we regularly put these updates highlighting the chart. Look at this, whether you want to get the update, whether you want to buy, whether you want to take profit, what's the region to look at, and all of the stuff. Say for Altcoin, before the breakout, this is what we actually posted. Now yeah, it was just 4 days back, and it was like, you know, the pattern is valid. So if you understand, if you're a pattern analysis guy, a wave analysis guy, it's completely up to you whether you combine them, use them individually. You have an idea what the market is going to do. So now you go look at that and you're like, okay, fine, that's doing great. Then you have, you know, a lot of different coins. We were at a resistance, but waiting for a breakout. We broke higher and we moved higher. So in this list of coins which you have moved, say Elrond, we had been taking our profits, wave 2 targets. We have already hit a couple of our exit points and we are moving out. And that is one of the main reason why people stick with us. Right? We as a group try to give you that perspective for most of the coins, because a lot of people I'm seeing recently have like 50 coins, 100 coins, and I'm surprised how they manage it all, because it's really hard. If you are perfectly organized, that can be easy for you, but for me, 10, 15 assets, that itself is hard to manage individually, each position in each asset. That's how you trade. Now, I literally get questions, have you have made 5x, 10x, 15x, 20x, that kind of numbers, and people are like, okay, how long do you hold and all? I'm going to give you that clarity too. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. As I've just highlighted, we do post questions and answers so that you have clarity. So as the major question there was like, how long do you hold? How long do you make it takes to get to 5x, 10x, 15x, that kind of stuff? So I'm like, it depends on an asset to asset, because we did way better than this in ETC because it will happen in 4 or 5 months. So now if you have patience, almost all of the assets are going to do this for you because you have patience. Now, it's not only having patience, which is important there, it's also entering into the right asset at the right time. So in that particular post, I'm showing you, the average buy for Ether for me was like $220. I started buying from 8,500, right? 85 to $100. So if you had patience to hold for 2 years, yeah, you made this. Now, the problem is, a lot of people would say, okay, in 2 years, 20x, holding on to a position is not a good idea. Now, it depends on what kind of trader you are. If you have your family life, if you have, whatever you are doing, and you're not doing this full time, it's going to be really hard for you to, do that, buy this, rotate this, that kind of stuff. But the easiest way to compound is giving time in the market, not just trying to time the market, because timing the market is kind of a little bit hard. Now, if you're a trader trying to do that, yes, you get a lot of breakout calls, which we usually post using our updates and breakout call system. And that's how okay, you can put it the trade here. And if that happens 5x or 10x, whatever, in 2 months or, way before that, that's great. You can take your profit and move to another one. Whereas if you think there is going to be assets which are going to move down, you now have idea, okay, this may not be the right thing. I can move out, right? So now, let's actually look at the altcoin market itself. On a 3-day, altcoin market looks like this. We are breaking to the upside. We came back. We hit those support region. We are slowly bouncing. But the issue which I'm seeing here is the MACD is agreeing with the price. It's crossing to the upside. It's bouncing. However, the RSI is not. It's creating a lower high right now, and the price is creating a higher high. So that means we may continue in the short term to the upside, maybe a month or two, but after that we are going to have heavy correction. So if this is the case, then mostly you're going to see all these 5, 10, 15, 20 X's in like next 2-3 months, and then it's done. We're going to go down for the correction of wave 2. Understand that clearly after the correction of wave 2, because I literally see people still saying, okay, the market cycle is over, crypto is done, that kind of stuff. Yes, you look at trend, you see this. You look at pattern, you kind of see the same stuff. Now, what's really interesting here is I've been highlighting this over and over again, saying people usually say, okay, 4-year market cycle, 4-year market cycle. Okay, how many times you have gone to the upside, coming back down, going to the upside, coming back? We have done this once, twice. We've been doing that, and this is the 4th time. Now, each time you see the market cycle time is increasing. So even if you are saying this time it's not increasing, it should be somewhat similar to last time or a little bit less than last time. You still have at least a year left, right? Not 400 days, but still 300 days should be there. So in that case, you're still looking at the late 2022 for the market cycle to top out. But the issue here is you're almost getting saturated near the top. So you just have like $80,000 to $100,000. That's it. When you hear big numbers like 1 million, 10 million, 20 million like that, you would be surprised. Now for that, what you need to have in the charts is break out to the top. But for me, as a trader, as an investor who's looking at the chart on almost all day, I'm like, okay, fine. This is valid all the way from 2011 to its 2021. So if last 10 years has shown me something, it definitely means if you entered in the Bitcoin from this level at the bottom of the support level, you're buying in there, get out. But if you're someone who's entering here and you're waiting for say 80,000, 100,000, 90,000, that's still in the range. You can still go there. But the question is, you still have a year to do that. So before that, are you going to go down? And if you are going down, how low you are going to go? These are the interesting questions. So now you zoom in. There's a 3-day chart of XRP where you show we had this level as a resistance for a long time. You came there, price got rejected, you went back, but the buyers did not back out. They came in, they bought back whatever was sold in the market, they drained the supply and the price went up. But again, the sellers were really interested to push this down at that level. So you were just flirting with that particular level and you got rejected because you tried this once, twice, one point, let it be buyers or sellers, they'll say, okay, this is not working as we anticipated, let's move on to the other direction. And that's what happens. So here the buyers are taking the profits and moving out, sellers are pushing the price down. Then you're slowly grinding back up with new high, new low, which is a higher high and higher low, and you're continuing that trend, which is an uptrend. Now you broke above this, you came back to that region and you're bouncing. What does that actually mean? For me, I'm like, okay, that was a resistance previously. Once you are able to break that, you're now literally looking at it as a support. So if that's a support for you, what are you anticipating? You're looking for a bounce. So on a 3-day, the RSI, the MACD, agrees with the price and it shows there can be some room to the upside. So it's not actually that bad stuff. Now that's why when we come into XRP, we see like, okay, we had a breakout. We're having a red day after that breakout. So it's not like, okay, it broke out, that's a breakout trade, I'm done. Because if you are really there for 5 to 10%, okay, that's your perspective. But for normal people who are in this, they're not in for 100% or even, 500%. Most of them are looking for 10x, 15x, 20x, 50x, like that. Because this market has the ability to do that. And that's why you are in this market, which is the most riskiest asset class. And when you are in the most riskiest asset class, you will have low risk asset within this one and a high risk asset within this one. So we've been watching people going into shape, but they are making money, they are moving here, they are moving there, and a lot of other stuff. But you do understand that the price can do a lot of downside in short term, because when people say, okay, it dropped 50%, how low can it drop? This is something which you need to definitely understand. When I was highlighting this to my patrons, I was saying like, okay, look at this gains there, so it can go down. And people were asking, okay, when it drops, it would be slow, right? It would be dropping slowly, so we'll have time to take our profits. I'm like, okay, that may not be the case. Now look at the chart here. This is just not even a weekly chart. If you go on to a weekly, you're going to see even worse red days. Just a week and you're wicking to the downside and hitting all those trade stop loss and other stuff. Now why is this literally happening? I've highlighted this previously and I'm going to give you that idea again, because you would be using that in all the different assets. You see this as the first fluctuation, that's nothing. Then you see a rate of it, that's nothing. Then you see this one. Is that the wave 1? Is that the wave 2? You're confused. So as you're moving high, that now is miniature version. So what was it? You're coming out and see that's the breakout of your accumulation. That's the breakout of your early phase before you start wave 1. So don't get confused with that. Then you start this, you move higher, you get this one. Now that one itself is miniaturized. So what just happened? This big wave here was your wave 1. So what happens after wave 2? A huge drop, as we just talked. So what are we waiting for here? Wave 2, and that wave 2 happened. This is your wave 2, and you consolidated a lot after that. Why? Because that's what happens after wave 2. You go to XRP, you go to XLM, you go to any different asset, fundamental asset, risky asset, whatever, you see same stuff there. Now, you come to this, you see another wave, and now the question is, okay, are you in, are you out? It's completely up to you. For me, that's a red sign in wave 3, because wave 3, you're not trying to compound more, you're just trying to take your profits and move out completely, just with the compounding impact of 3 to 5x. Because from here, when we were moving through, we already had 5x here. But if you were riding till the top, you made 12x. Great. But the difference is those who exited here still made 7x of whatever they had in bag, and they exited peacefully, right? Now, those who were adding on, they are now in red, and they are like, okay, should I be averaging down? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Understand, in wave 3, that's where you scale out from the market. Say your average is lower, you still have a lot of chance. But what if you have averaged up thinking that this is going to $1, $1 million, blah, blah, blah stuff? You have to understand the market doesn't happen to be like that. You look at different assets, you're going to see a lot of different variety of positioning in different assets. You can do short-term trading, you can do long-term trading. It's completely up to you. But understanding the trend is the important stuff there. You see a higher high and higher low, that's something changing. And then you see it repeated again, higher high and a higher low again. That's like, okay, there is something changing. Now, to get confirmation, now this is a 4-hour chart, short term, right? To get that confirmation, you can go look at your indicators. What are they showing? Here, it's a lower low and a lower high. So that doesn't actually support the price. So it's like, okay, we can have a correction. Now, that correction is what we have talked in the daily chart, coming back and retesting this particular candle, because that's a 4-hour chart which we showed. Now, that's really interesting to look at XRP and a way daily chart is crossing to the upside. MACD is bullish, it's trending up. 3-day chart is bullish, it's trending up, and MACD is about to cross to the upside. RSI is crossing, and on a weekly chart, you are crossing to the upside on a weekly. That's a great news. I don't know how many of you guys digest that properly, but that shows we are gonna have great price fluctuation from here, because if you can go from 0.5 to $2, from $2 going to $8 as next impulse is not that rocket science, right? But a lot of people would say, nah, that's not going to happen. You are not even going to see $3. But time will show who's right, who's wrong. So guys, if you've been receiving value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want these kind of updates, you can definitely look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, and you're going to see a lot of charts being posted there on a regular basis. And I'm trying to cover almost all the assets which you have in your portfolio, so now you can take an informed decision, right? So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.